and I'm sure it meant a lot to you being able to see those sets. Even if you've seen them before, whenever you see them in the right context, you're like, I can't believe this is where the magic happened. And when we came up with this event, it really meant a lot to me because way back in the Wayback Machine, in 5th grade, we all had to write letters. Write letters to somebody. Some folks were writing letters to the president, or astronauts, or Mary Lou Retton, or whoever. And I wrote to Pee Wee Herman. And not Paul Rubens, because I had no idea who that was. So I wrote a letter to Pee Wee Herman, and like 6 weeks later, I got a letter back. I know. And it came with a little card to the Pee Wee Herman fan club. And I showed all the kids at school, like, what? Because this is before Pee Wee's Playhouse, it was just a movie at that time, and his stand-up. And I kept that card, I still do have it to this very day, it's in a very special place. Working here has afforded me a lot of opportunities, and I did get to meet him in person for the first time in 2010. I showed him the letter that was sent, and the card, and he signed it. I know, you cried, I didn't. And I said, oh, I would love to give you a tour of the studio. It's changed, probably lost since you last been there. And I thought, oh, he's not gonna, people are like, oh, sure, that sounds great. Gave him my phone number, and then a few weeks later, I get a call on my phone. I'm like, I don't know this number. And so I let it go to voicemail. And he goes, hey, Brad, this is Paul, Pee Wee. What? I got some friends from out of town coming in, and I would love to take the tour. What? That was my hopeful ear. So he came in. He came with his friends, very low-key. We took the tour with regular folks. Nobody recognized him. Nobody. And I didn't do subtle references to the movie, you guys. I was just pouring on Pee Wee the whole time. And he was just laughing, and they're like, who is the tour guy? Like, didn't want to read that review. But then, from then on, he would show up, he would bring more people from out of town. Whenever he was in town, I know. And I said, I cannot believe this is happening. He put me on his Christmas card list, you guys. Every year, I would get Christmas cards from Pee Wee Herman. And it would always be signed, your pal, Pee Wee Herman. And this happened for a while, and of course, he passed away. And it was crazy, but before that, right before he passed away a few years ago, some of you here probably saw his show when he came back to LA and did the Pee Wee Herman stage show. You'll see that? It was amazing. Now, when he did that, he was on stage like I am right now, and I was in the audience, and they were doing the Pee Wee's Playhouse bit, and he stopped, he looked, and said, hey, that's my tour guide right there. That's Brad, he's my tour guide. Almost threw up, you guys. Almost threw up. That is probably one of the greatest moments of my entire life when that happened. So this, standing right here in front of all of you, means a whole lot to me. And I know were Paul still around with us today, he would have been first in line to be on the tour. Totally incognito, of course, and laughing at all you guys and being impressed by how you all look today. So let's give a big round of applause for Mr. Paul Rubens, everybody. Woo! Got nervous. Now, this is going to be a night to remember. It's been great so far. Let me guess, it's going to be even better. Because before we start the show, I have a few special guests that I'm honored to bring on stage to talk to you a little bit about this little movie you're about to watch. So I want you to give a big Warner Brothers Studio Tour Hollywood round of applause for my very first guest. You know him as Francis Buxton. Come on up, Mr. Mark Buxton. Throughout your childhood, Little Giants. He was in the TV show Superboy, one of my favorite shows from the 80s. Even things like Teen Wolf. So give him another round of applause. Thank you. I also... Okay? Yeah, you're good. He's taught us Francis. Now, I also have another special guest. If that was not enough, no. You saw on the website, like, oh, what else could they do, Brandon? What could they do? Well, we have one of the screenwriters of Pee-wee's Big Adventure. One of the co-writers, Mr. Michael Varhall. Come on up. Mr. Varhall wrote the film we're about to watch with his co-writers like Phil Hartman, Paul Rubens. Also wrote for a little show called Pee-wee's Playhouse. So gentlemen, have a seat, have a seat. This is the fun part. First off, thank you so much, both of you, for being here this evening. This means so much to so many of us, as you can tell. To both of you, how does this feel right now to see all this right in front of you?
Amazing. Yeah.
He's only 22 as well, so we can only imagine. All right. I have a question for Mark. I'm sure you haven't heard this question before. 40 years later, what does the film mean to you?
Well, it's sitting out there right now. I mean, had a young lady just walk up to me and look me in the eyes and said, "I love you." Tonight. And I said, "I love you too." Because no you, no me. No writers, no actors. So that's about the best I can do without getting all soppy and mushy and shit. You know?
This is the place to do that, everybody. This is a safe spot. I threw up on the stage almost. Michael, what was your process coming to the table for this film? What was that like?
The process was, I happened to know one of the executive producers of the film. They said, would you like to write this film for Paul Rubens? And I said, I don't know who Paul Rubens is. And they said, you know, Pee Wee Herman. I don't know who he is either. And so they gave me a tape of Pee-wee's Big Adventure, the Pee Wee Herman show. And I saw that, and I saw a comic who could give heart to things, you know, who had real feelings and stuff. And I got that from the first thing, and I said, I'd like to write for this guy, because he's funny, but he's also, he's deep in a way. So that's how it started. And then he brought in Phil Hartman. And
let's give it up for Phil Hartman, everybody.
We found a vacant office on Wilshire Boulevard, and we just set hours of 10 in the morning till like 4:30 in the afternoon, and 5 days a week we did it. And we never wrote separately. We always wrote as three of us. And I think a lot of good things in the movie is because the three of us are writing together. Things you wouldn't understand, things you couldn't understand.
You should understand.
That was the three of us.
Now, Mark, what was it like being on set with Paul? Was there a process? What kind of energy did you bring to the set?
During the audition, we pretty much just nailed the "I know you are, but what am I scene," and that's the first thing we shot. And I don't remember having that many takes or whatever. Maybe just a little tweak here or there. But the only difference between the two performances was they were shooting one on film, and Paul had his Pee Wee outfit on, and it was just a great way to kick it off. Yeah, it was pretty, it was a great script. And, you had Michael and Phil Hartman on set every day that I was there. And I don't remember you ever changing anything or having to change anything.
You're pretty much locked in.
And you get it right the first time, that's the main thing. So, and that's very rare.
That's a very rare story these days. Michael, once Tim Burton came on the project, we all love Tim. Did that affect anything? Did anything change or shift? You just mentioned that the script didn't change, but did anything about the style of the film change at all once he came on board?
Well, it did in a way. Phil Hartman, because we didn't have the credits that one of the executive producers thought we should have. So he wanted to fire Phil and me. And so every day we went into the office, we thought it was going to be our last day. But Paul kept us on the picture. And at the very end of it, when Tim Burton got on the film, he had to sort of audition for the part. We saw Frankenweenie and we saw his Vincent film, and we knew automatically he was the guy. Warner Brothers said he's turned out everything we sent him so far. He's never made a film, but he's turned out everything. And so we finally got the chance to send the script to him, and got there like around noon, and 3 in the afternoon he called and said, "I'm in." So that was really exciting for us, because we knew just from watching his other films that there was nobody close to Tim Burton, because he brought, not only as a director, but not too many directors in Hollywood have that artistic sense of where he would design, the background and the foreground and the actors and everything. So he was like, he was just perfect.
That's an awesome story. I love that story. Now, Mark, do you have any favorite memories of being on the lot here at the back lot of Warner Brothers?
Oh, I have no bad memories at all.
That makes one of us.
I'm thinking up on what Michael said. You think about, that they didn't want the writers, they didn't want the director, and then I think it was kind of a hard sell for them to let Danny Elfman come on board. It's a miracle that this film ever was made like it ended up. And I was talking with a friend the other day, and he said, let me put this in perspective. If you had a film that was made in 1945, it would stay popular until the year Pee-wee's Big Adventure was made. And here we are 40 years later from 1985. I'd say Pee-wee's Big Adventure passed the audition.
Now, Michael, one last question for you. Were you to hit the typewriter today, write a new Pee-wee's Big Adventure, what would that look like to you?
Probably a road movie, because it's worked once, I think it would work again. He actually, in 2006, they had a special screening at the Hollywood Forever Cemetery, which Paul Rubens is now buried there. But it was incredible at night. They had the whole cast there, and they had people, bicycle clubs, people dressed as Paul Rubens and stuff, and it turned out to be just the most magical night of all. So I would, I wrote something in and probably start with something like that.
Wonderful, wonderful. Maybe you should do that. They would like that, wouldn't you? Yeah. And one last question for you, Mark. What is the most quoted line you get from this film to you?
I know you are.
But what am I?
All right, gentlemen.